How do you do this? You like to have nibbles with you, and I've decided to bring down some nibbles, mostly because I haven't eaten supper yet. But so I've got this nice
Right.
plate of pretzels in front of me, and I don't know how not to eat it. Well, I just sit here and make.
You mean how to
I just
not eat them?
I
You mean
just don't
how
want to
to
be,
make them
crunch,
last
crunch,
long?
crunch the whole time. That's all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, we haven't had supper yet either. We had an ice cream at Callister's, sat outside about 2 hours ago on our way back. That's why I had to. It sent me into a coma, so I had to go lie down.
Was it a large
It was
ice
quite
cream?
lovely. It was a baby cone. We both had a bit. We're learning slowly that a medium here in the valley, or even a small here in the valley, is still about the size of your head.
I
So this time, you know what I mean. So this time I went for a baby, and it was a lime thing, wasn't it? Was it lemon? No, it was lemony. It was very. It's like a sorbet, but it wasn't a sorbet. It was still an ice cream, but it was so delish.
sounds good.
And Rebecca had a peanut butter fudge thing, and it was just wunderbar. And today was the perfect day for ice cream. Perfect day for ice
Today
cream.
was the perfect day for everything. It was just perfect. Like there's not a breath of wind, and somehow also didn't seem to be any flies. I was outside with Wesley early this morning, and then later on this afternoon. But even because this event happened to be outdoors. This was this Valley Chamber thing, and it was out on the
Yep.
on the lawn at sea level, and it was just gorgeous, gorgeous evening. Couldn't have ordered better weather.
No humidity. That's right. It's wonderful. Great time of year.
Delightful. A
Speaking
chef.
of which, it's the weather almost for like, oh, I don't know, a shandy or two.
Well, I don't know if you caught my description of what I was putting up, but I managed to add a small slur on the weather to say the weather might suck on weekends, but at least it's nice now. So this is why we don't record on a Saturday because it would always rain on us.
If you look at the coming week, Saturday and Sunday look crap all over again. Last Saturday and Sunday were crap. It was apple blossom, and obviously the parade got a little bit moist at the beginning and the end. It was fairly miserable, and that all happened on a weekend. Then we got 5 days of wonderful weather, and then come the weekend again, all those people that work all
Yeah.
the weekend.
It's a joke that I've
Never mind.
heard since I
ship
was
work.
a young man, and that is what in Nova Scotia what follows 2 days of rain. Monday.
The working week. Yeah, very true. Rebecca just asked, did you go to said parade? Or
I did not. I was on the wine bus that day. Otherwise,
Oh, well, that would have been miserable as well then.
otherwise
Kind
I
of.
might have been in the parade because Jeremy asked me to walk as one of the ghosts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know he had a couple. But
It's fun. I've done it. I've done it twice, and I've enjoyed walking in the parade as a ghost. It's a really good time.
I have done it as a ghost. I did it as twice as part of Michelin, and I sat there on the back of a car as Bib himself, in a big costume, when it was like today actually back when I did
You've
it
been
about
the
30,
Michelin
40
Man.
Absolutely.
We've
Yeah, I've been
never
the
talked
Michelin Man.
about this. How did I not know that you've been the Michelin Man at least once?
I'll have to talk about it off air. Anyway, let's get right down to it. Let's get down to drinking shandy.
Right. Okay. Well, shall we begin then? I am Ross, and joining me, of course, is my co-host Ian. And together, despite the fact that neither of us have ever been the Michelin Man, we are attempting to drink Nova Scotia Dry. There, that ought to cover it. We decided. We did decide. We decided that because the weather is delightful, and we've just been talking about how nice the weather is here midweek in Nova Scotia and not on the weekend, but since we record in midweek, we get nice weather. And that has led us to decide to have some shandies. And then in describing what we were drinking, I have tried to figure out how to pluralize shandy. Is it IES for more than one shandy? You have one shandy, two shandies? Plural.
I would imagine, yeah, they're called they're not. They're not. Just plural. You're not going to apostrophe it, are you? You're not going to go Y apostrophe S. I'd imagine it is IES. It makes sense.
It does seem to be the plural is shandies, IES, but I wasn't doing that. I was just doing because shandy seems like a proper name to me, so I did the grammatic error of shandy, SHANDYS. So it has sat uncomfortably with me all day. When honestly, a cursory, apparently I've never been on the internet before this moment with the ability to look this stuff up. It's fine.
It doesn't matter if you go on the internet stuff up because you're going to get an awful lot of different variations of your question.
Also,
or without coming.
Also true.
You could make your own. The plural of shandy is shandeau.
Ooh. La Française.
Like scampo.
Yeah.
Oh, scampi is scampo, is it not?
Or
I believe
the proper Latin plural of shandy is shandai, 2 I's on the end. Shandii.
I like it. From now on. We're
Regardless,
going to have some Shandai this evening.
I'm because I've not really been someone who has gravitated towards or drank many shandies, so I'm actually going to refer to your expertise in what is shandy. What are you expecting when someone says we've got a shandy? It's a light beer. Weirdly,
I did drink an awful lot of shandy as a child. I mean, a child, like a person under the age of 18. So I used to go to my youth club and soccer club when I was like 11 or 12 years old. We drank shandies in the evening, and they literally had shandy written on the side. Top Deck was a big selling shandy for at the time in the 70s, late 70s, I suppose. And to be a shandy back then, you could serve cans and drink as a child up to 0.5 alcohol content. So we were drinking Top Deck shandies out of cans, sold that way, up to 0.5 alcohol. They were considered to be non-alcoholic if they were under 0.5. I believe non-alcoholic beers are the same now, are they not? 0.5 being the kind of the cut point to. So even though you'd think 0.5 is still an alcoholic content, they're still allowed to call them non-alcoholic as opposed to low alcohol. And that's what our soft drink Top Deck was. And it looked like a can of beer and it tasted beery. It was delicious, and you were allowed to drink them in social areas when you were a kid. Now, that's what a shandy was to me when I grew up.
I've had some 0.5 beer. I've been curious as to what's in the grocery store. Not recently. This was maybe 10, 15 years ago, and it was all garbage. It was terrible. It tasted just so. It had that. It was that skunky stuff. That really skunky, dank stuff that we do not like. So honestly, had there been something like a 0.5, and I'm gonna say a shandy, because so the definition that I'm looking up is beer mixed with lemonade, or beer mixed with another drink traditionally lemon flavored, and that's what a shandy is. And that would cut down on the alcohol. Yeah. But if you could have a lemon flavored 0.5 drink, I feel like I would have drank a whole bunch of that. I don't know.
Lager, for some reason, lagers lend themselves very well to it. However, I think I've been through this several times on this show down the years. We used to drink bitter and lager tops when I was in the summertime. I say used to, I mean until I emigrated. So I would typically, I would do that anyway on hot summer days. I would throw a lemonade on top, and I mean just a couple of fingers of lemonade, 7-Up. What's the other? Yeah, on top of a lager or something, which just obviously takes the alcoholic content down just a little bit in your pint of in your pint of beer, but it just makes it slightly easier to drink on hot days and very, very refreshing.
Yeah,
it's making you thirst.
I'm looking forward to this because we're not mixing these. These are pre-mixed-ish. But so from the first one, the lower alcohol percentage, we've got a couple here, a couple of shandies. So this is the shandy from Propeller. They're lager and lemonade. You can see on the beneath bit there. And on the can it doeth say, incredibly refreshing. This classic beer cocktail is the perfect sunny combination of lemonade and lager. Propeller's shandy is bursting with zesty flavors and aromas of fresh lemon destined to satisfy your thirst with every sip. What?
I can't wait. I suggested I might actually sit outside and do this evening.
Yeah.
Even though you said there was a lack of flies where you were at earlier on at sea level, I thought I was out earlier on and did have a few landing on me. So I thought, even though the idea is nice, to sit outside, sun goes down on a warm summer's evening, I'd save it for another night. Later on in the summer, I think we've just got there.
That's fair. We'll have to try our traditional meetup as well, where we come and share a deck, or even I could come to you and share your deck as well. There's plenty of deck sharing opportunities. This smells lemony. Definitely got a snicket about it.
That's very lemony. This is a lemony day. God, it smells of lemon.
It's not quite as light as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be crystal clear and look like a pilsner. It is pale, so it's light in color, but it's hazy a bit.
Howdy.
That's good.
It's absolutely, but it is. I'd be surprised.
I'm losing your audio bits and pieces here, but I think that's on my end.
It's slightly cloudy. Already.
No. Well,
you get me.
Cheers.
Okay. Cheers. Then the smell is it.
Oh. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I didn't stop drinking. I didn't want to. I could have easily downed that whole thing in one go.
I think so. It is a 355 milliliter can, so it definitely could have gone down. Wow.
Yeah, it's that. Oh, that's absolutely one. Can you talk about when you were messing around on your mower in the for 3 hours in your yard? Rebecca, if you had one of those straight after it, there wouldn't be the rest of the can, would there? That would all go down in one.
Mm-hmm.
It's so crazily easy drinkable.
I did make a conscious effort to stop halfway through.
Me too. Me too. It's too easy. I know.
Incredibly smooth. No bitterness of beer, but you can kind of get the hint of it. And even like a malty, it does not taste like a lager. Like a lager was used. It tastes more like it was more like a pale ale that went with a lemonade, you know?
It's so perfect. It's so easy. It's 4%. Now, of course, that's a light beer here. 4% in the UK is not a light beer. We've been through this before as well. It's a kindergarten beer. Yeah, it's a year. It's still 4%, Rob. If you're drinking it like it was a fruit juice, 3 or 4 of these on a summer's day, and it wouldn't.
It would still take 3 or 4 though, at least. I have to leave a small amount at the bottom of that, but I am very disappointed. I want to finish that. That's so good. That is absolutely delicious.
There's a hint of light from the empty can. Can I smell? Because I smell. Okay, because It's lemon, and you cracked it with.
Oh.
So, it's so lemon even now. It's like someone squeezes lemon.
Strawberry, candy,
Oh, I love it.
summery.
Summer.
I feel like the smell
It said on the tin.
was a bit of a zip, but I mean, it doesn't bursting with zesty flavors and aromas of fresh lemon. Yes. Yep.
Yes.
100%.
Pretty fresh.
If that isn't a 10 out of 10 shandy, why not?
I know. Yeah.
If I saw someone drinking this on the patio, I'd be jealous.
I will now.
Yeah.
If someone said, "I'm just having a shandy here in the video," think, enjoy, mate. It before say, give that thing. Give that. From me, I notice it's in the 355. I'm very observant. I saw one today in the liquor store, the old classic 473. They do serve them in 473s. Did you give me this, or did I give you this?
I don't remember.
Nor do I.
4-pack. I'll give you there were the 4 Jones fruit, there was lime, and there were mixed. It was summertime.
Was that last year's?
I think this is last year's.
Okay. Oh my god! I'm just making a point at the moment. An observation. Another one. You on me. Can you? It's not a trick. So your picture is completely frozen. Am I still moving?
You haven't been moving in a while, but that's okay.
Okay.
Totally...
You're not moving either. This is very real.
Yeah. I'm not sure whose internet is to blame here, but that's fine. I've also been in the wrong place entirely.
Wi-Fi. I'm not on Wi-Fi. I am going to.
Oh, you're going to
I've
space.
Learned to. Yeah, so it's not the Wi-Fi. That's for sure. So it doesn't matter. I can still see you. It's just your. You're just not moving, and that's fine. I can imagine what you look like.
Yeah. It's all smiles.
Oh right, you're smiling as well. What about if you sort of talk for about 30 seconds, and I'm just going to go off air and come back on again? What about that?
Okay.
I'll see if that clears it out. All right then.
I'll
see you in a minute.
Pause slightly while we do that. Well, the problem with that is that totally changes. There we go. Now I have to sit in either one of these windows, and it takes up that side of things. But I'm trying to figure out what would make that not a 10 out of 10 beer, because the body, the mouthfeel, the flavor, all the flavors are there in the right aspects of each other too, and I am want for nothing. Usually I say things like, hey, if you're going to say that you're lemon flavored, it's got to be big lemon flavor. But that is big. It's big enough. It's big enough lemon flavor. Any more lemon flavor, and you sort of be saying, ooh, hold back on the lemon, please. So it's given me everything that I was expecting, and then some. A case of that, a 12-pack of that would not last long. You crush through them. And this reminds me of the beverage that I found when I was in Ontario 20 years ago, and I found the malt lemonades. It was a fizzy kind of beer malt lemonades. Got boomerangs, cyclones, hurricanes, I think was the other one they called it. But the malt lemonade, I guess, beverages, style, and types. And it was this. Tasted very much like that. Maybe a little maltier, but still quite good. Are you in space?
Usually.
Usually. Are we doing peach? Oh yes, I'm still in space. I've not changed that. Are we doing lemon or peach next? What were you talking about?
I was talking about, and I've mentioned this to you several times, the malt beverages, the malt lemonades that I had in Ontario 20 years ago while I was living there. that I found.
Right.
And that shandy, it reminded me of that, where it's basically just, it's a lemonade, but it's got a tinge of a malt to it. And so I'm still calling that one exactly what I was expecting, and I can't think of any way to improve upon it. Even mouthfeel, body, I'm searching for possible potential mistakes or ways to improve, and I can't think of one.
To me, is absolutely 100% what I want from a refreshing lager shandy.
Mm.
Yes, it's got a little bit of maltiness to it, and you don't often get a great deal of that with lagers.
No.
It's so crisp and delicious, and it so reminds me weirdly of drinking pop decks when I was a kid. It's almost too easy to drink to be a beer, if that makes any sense to you.
And it's like you say, it's 4%. We're not talking about a 1%, a 0.5%. That is 4. I mean, some of the stouts we drink are 4%.
And Guinness is not far more than that. Yeah, typically that cream flow stuff you get is 4%. That's the same strength as Guinness. And yet, you're quite happy to give this to your 3-year-old playing out in the yard, wouldn't you? Go and drink your shandy. It's a sunny day. Get out there and drink your shandy.
And I certainly shall. You got to get him hooked young. I think we'll get him hooked on a good malt lemonade, nice and young.
It's Ross. If I were going to mark that, you said it. If it's for a shandy, you can't knock it. It's 10 out of 10. It's a banger.
It is. And so what happens now? If these also taste excellent, is it just 10 out of 10's night? Are we just, are we the judging panel on Dancing with the Stars, and we're just holding up 10 after 10 after 10? This is week 14 or whatever. I know way too much about that show. Never mind. Forget I said anything about Dancing with the Stars. Moving on.
Good.
I thought we'd sandwich. So we'd go lemon and then peach and then lemon. So the Church Brewing Company, out of Wolfville, Nova Scotia, they've got this one, their Summer Dreamin peach shandy. The Propeller didn't actually have a title to it, but this one, I believe, if I could focus in on that, is 4.5%. So getting up towards a 5% beer. But it's the peach one, which is interesting because everything keeps telling me traditional shandies are usually lemon.
Yeah.
And
or lime.
Ooh, that's got an interesting flavor, or an interesting smell to it as I pour it into my glass. I know I've got it. I've misplaced my Church Brewing glass, so I've got my Science of Beer one here. Now, I've been trying to look for a description of this one, because there's nothing written on the can. Delightful can, by the way. Just delightful, because of the peach colors. And there's a sliced open peach on it, and all the colors. It's very pink. But on the website, it just says crisp peach crushable.
I bet it is. I bet it's all three of those things. I bet it is.
Can't argue. Can't argue with that. Oh, this
smells of peach.
It's like peach candy.
It's peach candy. Does it have that? Oh,
Candy shandy.
Candy shandy.
Nah.
What's the? Is it? That's a cake as well. That's. It's got the.
And I'm not even at the bottom of the can, but you're right.
Yeah.
There's a smell.
Yeah.
Of like medicinal sugar is the only way I can put it. Like medicinal sweetness, when something is you're having a medicine, but it's but this one's grape flavored, or this one's got a sweet. Oh, it'll be fine.
To make it easy to get down for children.
Yeah.
Like a Flintstones vitamin.
Flintstones
Yes,
vitamin.
that.
Okay, so it's. Right. I am getting peach, but I'm also getting just a hint of strawberry. Does it mention straws?
It does not. No, it just says, in fact, on the side, the only descriptor on the side, it also has the crushable, but it also says, reach for the peach.
Okay. Well, we're both getting strawberries.
very candyish to me.
Yeah.
Is it ale or a lager or a undisclosed?
It's undisclosed. They do not say specifically. However, over on now where did I find it? The NSLC product details. No, there wasn't anything for the product details there. But that's the Summer Dreamin one. So wait, didn't I find the one for the lemon? Because I thought the lemon one was described slightly differently. Bishop's Cellar. The church.
Doesn't it say on the website whether this is classed as a lager or a pilsner? I mean,
it does not.
It says nothing, so we don't know what kind of beer it is.
Well, here we go. Bishopcellar.com has this product available in cans, the Peach Shandy, and then the tasting note says peach, citrus, a hint of ginger. I'm not getting that. Soft and juicy. Built to crush. This one's your summer go-to. Big peach aroma, a smooth body with real peach and subtle citrus tartness, finishing clean and refreshing.
There's a sourness.
There is a sourness, a slight sourness.
Like
to it.
it's like a peach gummy candy to me a little bit.
It's not as sour as a sour, as what we've come to know as sours now, which Brittany loves, and Ross loves them equally. And
big fan.
It does have that kind of. It finishes a bit like a sour. There's sweetness there. There is sweetness though. It finishes more like a sour. There's plenty of flavour to it. There really is. I think that they're kind of pushing the term shandy a little bit to its extreme, because this why is it not a fruit beer, like a blackberry ale or a blueberry ale? Why is this then? Why are they just calling this a shandy when it doesn't have a lemon or a lime zest to it? That kind of, to me, defeats a shandy kind of needs to be, for me, unless of course Wikipedia tells me different, a shandy needs to have a lemoniness to it.
Well,
this doesn't.
I'm over on druthersbrewing.com, and the difference between a shandy and a radler, here you are. A shandy is most often mixed with lemonade or even lemon lime soda, while a radler can be mixed with any form of fruit juice, including grapefruit, for example. That's not helping us in this case. So doesn't that mean that this is more of a peach radler because it's not lemon?
So is it though? A radler is just an old German. It's a German word for cyclist. That's where that comes from. And they would just throw sort of easier things to drink at beer to make it more refreshing for a cyclist.
More refreshing and less alcoholic, because they're you don't want to give them a 7% double IPA in the middle of the Tour de France.
I'd take that now. But Ross read that shandy is typically more often a lemon and lime, and that's what I understood as well for a shandy. I mean, look, are they not playing devil's advocate? Radler, shandy, unless we're getting really deep, taking a deep dive into the histories of them. I mean, they're kind of the same thing, are they not? A beer that has a fruity flavour to it.
Short answer, yes. The internet says short answer, yes. And the only real difference seems to be that shandy is what it's called in British, and radler is what it would be in German. So a traditional German fruit drink mixed with beer is a radler. A British fruit drink mixed with beer, almost always lemon, is a shandy. So Church is basically saying this is the British one. But, and here's the super interesting bit that I'm trying to find, because the Propeller one says it's definitely mixed with a lager. I'm not finding anything specific about the peach shandy. However, the brand new lemon shandy from from Church Brewing. Church Brewing is announcing that their lemon one is mixed with their blonde ale.
Oh,
That's better. That's a better idea.
interesting.
So does that mean that the peach one is also mixed with the blonde ale? Because they've got a lager, do they not? They've got a Pilsner as well.
I don't mind this, actually. I really don't. I do find it quite refreshing. It's got plenty of flavour. You're saying, both you and Rebecca are saying, it tastes kind of medicinally and a bit.
It's smelling that
trial
way to
cap.
me. I haven't taken a swig yet.
I quite like it. I'm not going to lie. It's not blowing my head off like Propeller's Shandy did, but I do like it.
Oh,
actually.
okay.
And,
Hang on. Let me get in there.
Yeah, and oh, sorry, you've not even started it yet. I am a third of the way through. There we go. Come on. He's catching up fast though, Rebecca. He's overtaken me.
I'm in the middle of my internet research.
Okay. It's a bit what?
A bit too sweet and a bit too sour.
A bit too sweet and a bit too sour. Isn't that weird?
The peach goes nicely with an ale in a less summery, even like a fall.
Okay.
That's fine. It's like the stone fruit.
Yeah.
Color is really nice ale.
Mm.
But
The body is slightly lighter to compound upon, because everything you just said is absolutely what I was thinking at the same way. There's more peach and sweet and sour than there is the body of the beer in the Propeller, I found, and I was getting that malty note. There was a little bit of that grain. There's a bit there was some beer in there just to compound what it was that you're drinking. But this peach one, while ridiculously delicious, is not quite as perfect a mix. Like, dropping back to the fact that we drank that first one and said, that's a 10. This peach one is, terribly sorry, boys, you've only done a 9.3. You know, it's still really good. It's really good. It's just not perfect.
It does have a sourness to it that kind of has me going a little bit.
Yep.
But at the same time, I'm coming back for it, almost craving that when I put my glass down and I've got past that little sour, then I'm kind of picking it up and going for it again. I like it, Ross. It's it's packed with flavour. Okay, it's packed with flavour. Although I hear what you're saying, it tastes a little bit fake.
There is something about the flavor that does not taste like real peach. But they're saying it's made with real peach. So who am I to tell them? Peach citrus.
It does definitely to me, and it doesn't mention strawberries anywhere.
Artificial strawberries.
Artificial strawberries. Yeah, I really do quite like this. Aren't you? I am too. A fruity beer, fruity cold beverage on a hot day. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to curl up by the fireside at Christmas time and be quite so happy with it. But right now, this is actually doing it for me.
Well, okay. Here we go. It also includes in most of the descriptions. It also says there's a hint of ginger. Are you getting a hint of ginger at the tail end of this?
I'm sorry, no. You mentioned that once, and I thought you had misread it. No. There's no ginger in there. It's a lie. You've read it on the internet. It's fake news. There's no ginger in there. There might be a tiny bit of ginger in there, Rebecca. What do you think?
A ginger can call another beer a
That's
ginger.
true.
I can't get
That's
ginger.
true.
If I am concentrating with 100% of my flavor buds, I think that at the tail end, that bit of, ooh, is this an artificial flavor to the peach, could be considered a ginger aftertaste on the heels of the peach flavor that's actually interrupting the peach flavor by saying peach, 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 ginger, and it's just ruining kind of the peach experience by making it taste like it came from an artificial place. That's the only way I can describe it, that maybe there's ginger in there, but if there is, then it's done bad things. It is not complemented when
Ginger's
perhaps it was hoped to complement.
This might
Ginger's a
not
tricky
be
flavor.
the best compliment either to say, while you were talking there, I, under my breath, did a slight belch. Okay? I burped a little bit, very, very quietly under my breath. And in my belch was a tiny bit of ginger. And I'm not making that up. There was a tiny little bit of it coming back. So maybe to get the ginger, you need a little belch afterwards.
A tinge of the ginge, as it were.
Ginger. I really rather like this.
Yep.
Despite being a little bit in two minds about it, whether or not it's actually a shandy or not, or whether it's just a fruity beer. I do like it, and I would have another.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really excited about the lemon shandy.
Because that's the thing. So if we were there at the church and they said, oh yeah, and you tried the peach shandy, you said, this is delectable, this is wonderful, and they said, oh, do you want another? And you'd say, oh, well, and then they say, we've also got a lemon shandy, and you say, oh, well, I gotta try both, right?
Yeah. I'm quite happy to give this an 8.5 out of 10.
I'm happy. I'm going to stick with low 9s.
Okay, you're going higher than that. Okay, because I do like it, even though it has that slight sourness to it. But I don't. To me, it's not. It's what's the word? It's not a genuine shandy. A shandy. I want to be lemony
the lemon,
or limey.
Yeah.
But for a separate entity, for a fruity, very thirst quenching, summery ale on the deck again. While that beautiful Annapolis sun is beating down on me, I'm happy to drink a pint or two of this on a deck. 8.5 out of 10. Give me your lemon shandy, though, please. Let me try your lemon shandy.
I agree with everything that you're saying, but we also do try to credit and appreciate people for being a little bit outside the box. So if it's shandy is always lemonade, and you say, what's close to a lemonade flavor? What could I do? Let's mix it up. Let's make something a little different. Because if this was something like, I don't know, a strawberry shandy. I had the fruit in my head just a second ago. Where did it go? Not quite a melon one. A pear shandy. Try that. But then you're getting into other things. So I feel like peach is a really nearby fruit flavor to sell as similar to lemon. Where you're not going completely off the wall and saying, oh, no, I actually probably a grapefruit one. Well, maybe. But if you were doing like a raspberry shandy, that's a bit of a left field kind of thing. But then again, I would try every single fruit that there is kind of shandy from these guys. I like that they're trying different things.
Rebecca went for kiwi shandy. What about banana shandy?
Yeah, if it was a banana, that's way out. I mean, I'd try it, but I feel like they're trying to just push to kind of the, what if shandy wasn't just lemon? What if we tried something that's lemon-ish, but a different fruit? So I appreciate that. I appreciate the attempt, but the weirdness of peach with ginger, I think, or whatever peach flavoring they used, it's just not quite the magic that we're getting out of the lemon one. And hopefully, if I'm right, this lemon shandy from Church Brewing, so Church Brewing, they're Summer Lovin, not to be confused with Summer Dreamin. So now we're into Summer Lovin' Lemon Shandy, also a 4.5 from Church Brewing. If I'm right that the peach was the mistake, this lemon one is going to be excellent.
May I say then that the reason why traditionally shandies were given the zest of the lemon and the lime is because, quite simply, it goes with it better. It just works better than other fruits do. Even though you've just said we applaud people for thinking outside the box and doing something a little bit different. The reason why people always put a little bit of lemonade in there or limeade, 7-Up, whatever you will, is because it lends itself better to a lager or a pilsner when it's mixed with it than a peach or a kiwi or a watermelon, whatever, to make a shandy.
The irony there is I'm always interested and encouraging of pushing the envelope, trying new things, but I also dislike sours. So I don't know what to do for you. But if someone came out with a ginger licorice sour, I'd try it. I would I'd absolutely try it. I might hate it. I might spit it right back in their face, but I'd try it.
Of course you would. Of course you would try it. Why wouldn't you try it? When someone says, "I've got this really unusual donair kebab beer, Ross, do you want to give it a go?" I didn't notice you saying, "Good grief, no." Who?
Oh, of course. No, I shall not drink your alcoholic beverage. I'll try anything. Bring it on. I have brimmed my glass with this lemonade, and it all fit in my glass. But I did find a description. So this is the one that includes the blonde. Introducing Summer Lovin', a shandy style ale. So shandy style, not a shandy. We mixed our natural blonde with lemonade and ginger ale to create the perfect summer drink for you. Come down to the patio with your friends and try it for yourself. Lemonade, natural. So blonde ale, lemonade, ginger ale. So interesting. It could be the imagination. It could be the word is now stuck in my head. So the can, it gives a sniff of ginger.
Ross?
Tinge of the ginger.
What did this have that the other two didn't have when you poured it?
Lack of head.
Oh, I've got the absolute opposite.
Yours is
the open head.
It's too heady?
Yep.
The other two, it took me forever to pour. This one was easy. I just went pour and it went fine.
Well, that's bananas. It's not bananas. It's lemon.
It's a lemon.
It was the absolute opposite for me. And I took this from the fridge. These are cold.
Oh. I'm now wishing that I'd kept mine colder. I brought them out of the really cold spot because I feel like these would taste even better colder. I'm appreciating that I'm getting all of the flavor, but
we're not new to this beer drinking. We know that you can freeze all the flavor out of a beer.
Yes.
If it's too cold, if it's just not served at the correct temperature, you don't get the full flavor of the beer as intended by the brewer. We know this isn't our first rodeo. However, with a shandy and a lager shandy, on a hot day, I kind of want it to be pretty cold. So therefore, mine were in the fridge until fairly shortly beforehand.
Well, what if your teeth are like a little bit sensitive to like ice cold temperatures? So, you've just finished mowing the lawn, you're really hot, you're really quite sweaty, and then you say, I have to drink all of the... It's my daughter, when she plays sports, she insists on putting ice cubes in her water bottle. But me, when I am dead from mowing my lawn for 2 hours and I come in, I can't... I would much prefer room temperature water to ice cold water.
That makes sense. You're wanting to rehydrate yourself rather than quench your thirst. Yeah, that makes more sense. Now it can hurt to drink ice cold water, can't it? Because like and what you want to do is rehydrate your body. So therefore, it's far easier to drink.
Yeah,
of course.
So
of course. Yeah.
I have wimpy teeth that can't chug the ice cold beverage.
These aren't, by the way, like I say, I did take these out of the fridge, like before I went to drink. They're not still in the fridge. I'm not drinking them from the fridge, but they're not as, dare I say it, they weren't out of the fridge for as long as they normally are, as beers normally are when I go to drink them. This is not 8 or 10 degrees, this beer.
No.
It's probably more like 5.
This might be 8 or 9. Maybe more.
Okay.
My meniscus is demanding that I drink this. I'm trying to get a bit of a smell off of it, and honestly, it smells like the first one. It smells like the Propeller.
Yeah, I didn't smell the can. I am getting lime.
My meniscus
lime.
is given out. I'm drinking. Going in.
Okay.
Sorry, it started ejecting into my lap.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Yeah.
Peach doesn't work with ginger.
That is good.
Oh.
Becca.
I want to reward creative expansion of the peach. I want to reward that, but it just doesn't hit like the lemon. The lemon and the blonde ale and the ginger ale, this hits.
Very good.
Oh.
I think I'm glad I left. This is my Propeller Shandy, by the way, this one here. I did leave. I almost sank it because it was so delicious. I'm glad I left the last couple. I hope they're not, because we've left it half an hour. I hope it's not going to degenerate to and it's not fair.
I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, I'm hoping not. I think this one is, dare I say it, slightly smoother. You think it's sour? I think it's because of the fact that it's the blonde ale, and the blondes I find, but they don't have the lagery backbone. They don't have that kind of what I can find with lagers. Sometimes they are over gassy. I like that. They're really easy to drink.
I agree with Rebecca. The Church lemon is slightly more tart and therefore slightly less smooth. It's got that little bit of sour tartness. Just a bit. The problem here is comparison, because if you sat down and drank this one, you'd be like, this is the best. Each one of these on their own are pretty much the best, but sadly the Propeller is still my 10. The Church lemon is, I think, a 9-8 because of that. It's little too sour, not quite as smashingly wonderful. And then the peach lower down again.
I'm finding this one smoother.
Really?
I found the Propeller Shandy zingy, just delicious. By the way, I found that the best flavor overall, but I didn't find it. But I found it, like I said, not as beery as I would want a beer to be. It was so easy that it was almost like a soft drink. Whereas this peach, when I'm drinking the Church lemon shandy, I'm still aware that I'm drinking a beer.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it feels like.
Really?
And so therefore, this is like a grown-up drinking a shandy. This one takes me back to when I was 12 years old drinking a shandy at the youth club. So easy, refreshing, beautiful, summery drink. This one is, to me, I'm drinking a beer still, and it's a beer shandy.
There's something a little just artificial to me about the church ones. Like
Okay.
this one's a little bit neo-citron-y. It's a little rocky and like a neo-citron lemon.
Okay.
It's a very strong artificial lemon.
Yeah.
And this one's just nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
The Propeller is just nice.
Which is interesting because you'd expect I think Propeller is producing volumes higher than Church still, even though I know when Church came in and they were talking about how many or liters and whatnot they were going to be producing, it was pretty high in comparison to a lot of the other smaller ones around here. Well, not small, but small-ish scale craft breweries, not quite at the nano scale, but definitely up there. So I would expect an artificial flavor from the Propeller over the Church, but I know what you're saying. I feel very similar on to that end.
Citron,
Neo-citron. You've done it 4 or 5 times now.
And like I said, the smell of the peach one was medicinal.
The peach one to me was like someone had a glass of beer and they poured strawberry crystal light powdery. Like there's something kind of just powdery and artificial.
Didn't work for you at all, that.
Are they
Summer love.
Are they putting vitamin D in here? Are they trying to make us healthy against our will? Is that what's happening?
It's sunshine in a glass.
Would you do me a favour? The archway of the Church Brewing directly behind your head.
Hang on.
I love it. The fact that it if you put your head right in there,
there we go.
You a little bit like I squid. You're wearing a Darth Vader helmet. If it came, maybe no, Daria's hairstyle. Yes, now I'm getting there.
Daria,
Yeah.
What? Where are we?
Daria. She was on Beavis and Butthead. She had her own show in the 90s. That's the. Oh, no! I'm getting it now. It's not. It's the daughter that's on Bob's Burgers. What's her name?
Oh, Louise.
Louise. I'm moving around all my animated.
You are. Where you thought the kids from Bob's Burgers were on Beavis and Butthead? I mean, it is a similar-esque art style, but
I'm pretty sure Daria had the same hairstyle as
I
Louise,
don't remember additional characters from Beavis and Butthead, but I did not watch the actual show, the episodic show, because people kept saying, "Oh, we got to watch Beavis and Butthead," and I tried watching it, and it was unwatchable, honestly. I could not watch what was going on in the show. The show was impossible. However, the movie Beavis and Butthead Do America, I could watch that repeatedly. That movie is, I don't know why it's so much better, and comedically and just everything. It very seldomly does a kind of a move from, oh, we're a TV show, now we're going to make a movie. Does it hit? But I think that one is probably the most successful one in my brain.
I love them all. I loved the TV shows that I started watching in '94, MTV. Well, I was actually based in Alaska when I started watching that. I picked it up. I thought, what is this Beavis and Butthead thing? And I watched an episode on MTV. What is this Beavis and Butthead thing? And someone had told me about it. And he said it's hilarious. And he tried to describe it to me. He said 2 guys just sit around, watch videos, rock heads, and laugh at them. I thought, well, that's really my kind of show. Not thinking it was going to be. And I watched it. You know, when you watch something and it's so childish and inane that eventually you start laughing at it. And I started laughing at it. And eventually I bought like all the seasons on VHS.
You owned seasons of Beavis and Butthead on VHS. That's both telling and dated.
And then I actually hear you. When the movie came out, I was the first in line. It's brilliant.
It was better. What? Okay, am I wrong that it was better than the show?
Yeah, because there's only so much mileage you can get out of two guys going.
Exactly. So you had to,
No.
yeah, they had to make it a little bit more interesting, and they did.
And they created the plot, and the FBI were in there, and everything in the road. It was just brilliant. And Red Hot Chili Peppers, Roller Coaster. Oh, the whole thing's fabulous.
20-something years too late, but well done, producers of the Beavis and Butthead full-length feature film. You've got two fans.
They went on to better it, of course, with King of the Hill. Let's be honest, it's the same team behind, and you can't knock that. That's fabulous stuff.
I had a hard time watching it. I couldn't get into it. Didn't quite become the King of the Hill fan that maybe I should have been.
I did. Mike Judge. I love it. This is I love this. Not as much as as the Beavis and Butthead movie, but I still really, really like it. It's more beery, and for that I like it more than Shandy by Propeller. But you can't. No, I can't give it more than 10 out of 10. What I'm saying is, at least it reminds me that it's still a beer. The other thing is so ridiculously easy to drink. The Propeller one. Definitely a 10 out of 10 for the Propeller Shandy. This I'm giving a 9.5. Really do like it. It's just still. It's got a slight sourness to it. It's not detracting for the fact. It's a wonderful summer deck or a beach drink. I could drink this all day.
Once again, we're agreeing and disagreeing at the exact same time. You're saying that it is more beery, which is a good thing, but you're marking it down. So you're finally landing on the whole sort of, if you're offering up a shandy, but it tastes too sour, then maybe it's not a shandy.
The reason why I'm giving the Propeller Shandy higher, even though it's less beery, is because it tastes exactly like a shandy to me when I was growing up. It's nostalgia. It's hitting it's ticking every single box for a shandy.
Well, yeah, I think it's doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, it's fabulous, and it's %, so it's lower in alcohol. It's easier on. It's still 4%. But it's just brilliant. That's that perfect shandy for me is the Propeller. Perfect shandy. The Summer Lovin' Lemon Shandy is a very good alternative if I couldn't find the Propeller.
Yeah. I could drink a case of the Propeller, but the novelty of the two Church ones are pretty darn good. And I'm glad they have them, and I know they'll be very successful on their patio. This Summer, as didn't you find these? Oh no, I found these at church. I picked these up in the Church Brewery, so I'm not sure if they're NS leseeable. I think the peach one seems to be there.
The peach one. Well, I was in a liquor store today. I sent you a couple. I think to a photograph. And I did see the Summer
there's
peach shandy
23 in the U minus LC.
Okay. There was no Summer Lovin'.
No, they don't have the lemon one, which is interesting because I think the lemon one might sell better.
I think so too.
And then the 473, the full size, the tall can of Propeller Shandy. This year's version, not last year's. I hope this year's version tastes as good as last year's version, because that would suck if we said this is delicious, but then they changed the recipe entirely and it tastes like Flintstone vitamins and foot powder. But there are 34 of the Propeller Shandies available at our local
I think that isn't. Well, I'll put that as my number one chore for this coming weekend. Oh, sorry, I'm on night shifts. But before then, is to buy a couple of cans of the full 473 Propeller Brewing Company's shandies and confirm that they are still as absolute deliciously wonderful as this one was.
That is a solid plan. That is
solid plan. Isn't it?
It's lawn mowing beer. It's late night by the bonfire beer. It does tick a couple boxes, definitely.
Doesn't it? We've still got fingers, mate. I've got. 6 fingers.
We haven't completely decapitated our digits just yet. However, I am okay. Here's the story. Brittany went and purchased some things for me. She got me the I have some Propeller ESBs. No wait, I drank them for a bonfire that we were having a little bit. And she picked out and she said, "Look, I found a bunch of sours in the LC." And I said, and I got excited and said, "Oh, good! On a night that Ian's not available, you and I can drink those." And her face just fell. She went, "Oh, you mean I can't drink them right now?" And I went, "No, those are for reviewing. What? So I am going to satiate my wife's insatiable love of sours by trying to pass off some of these shandies to her and see, what do you think of these ones? So while I would love to drink all the rest of this beer, I'm going to offer some up to my wife. So yes, I do have fingers of beer left, but I'm taking them upstairs as peace offerings for not letting my wife drink sours as soon as she'd like.
Please let me know what she thinks of them.
Please
do, because we were all saying, of course, that there was a slight sourness to one or two of these offerings.
Mm-hmm.
Not the Propeller Shandy, but the other two. A slight sourness to them. Maybe the peach one might do something for it. Maybe even the lemon will.
She might like that one the most, but sadly, the Propeller is the one I have the least amount of. A, because it was a 355 milliliter can, and B, because I could not stop drinking it. It's so good, delicious. But
10 out of 10 Propeller Shandy, 9.5 for the lemon shandy, and 8.5 for the summer Dreamin' peach. I'm a shandy guy now, through and through.
I figured you always were. Were we not?
I don't want pesky IPAs anymore. I'm moving on now. That was a 2-week wonder. I'm now a shandy guy.
Oh, okay. Well, that was fast.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Fickle, that's me. Ross, I'm out of here. Good night.
I am so intriguingly surprised by what we had here. Oh, that was from Propeller. I'm trying to record our scores as best we can, and just get all these in there because. No, wait. I think I was. Yeah, that's about where I was. 9.3 and then 8.5. I feel, and I said something like that. I'll bug Ian again, but. You can reach us here. We're here every week, Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. at our YouTube page, youtube.com/@DrinkNSDry. You can find our podcast in all the podcasty places, Drink Nova Scotia Dry, Drink NS Dry, or you can go straight to the source at drinkns.unsupervised.beer. Hopefully having some more guests coming up in the future, but until then, hope you'll enjoy us again every week or see some of the excerpts, but thanks for tuning in tonight.